Hello boys and girls, welcome to English Grade 4 ILSS4 Start. How are you? Oh, you're happy? Me too. I'm so happy to see you in Unit 8, Lesson 3.3 on page 114. Xin chào tất cả các con, cô là Phượng. Ngày hôm nay, cô rất vui được đồng hành với các con ở bài 8 tiết 3.3 trong 114. Các con đã chuẩn bị đầy đủ sách, vở, bút chưa nào? Nếu rồi, chúng mình cùng nhau bắt đầu bài học nhé. Let's go! Class, do you want to listen a song? Yes, let's listen a song to warm up the lesson. Here we go.
What did you do? What did you do? What did you do this morning? What did you do? What did you do? What did you do this morning? Well, I was very busy. I woke up. I got dressed. I cooked breakfast. Then I washed the dishes and I put them away. What did you do? What did you do? What did you do yesterday? What did you do? What did you do? What did you do yesterday? Well, I was very busy. I went to school. I studied hard. I ran home. Then I played soccer with my friends. What did you do? What did you do? What did you do last weekend? What did you do? What did you do? What did you do last weekend? Well, I was very busy. I helped my grandma. I planted flowers. I cut her grass. Then grandma and I had cookies and milk. What did you do? 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 What did you do?
Now, open the book, page 114, to start our new lesson. Part E, point, ask and answer. We are going to point to the picture, ask and answer question using the subjects and the time here. For example, number 1, let's ask and answer a question about Tom and Alvin last weekend. So we ask, where were Tom and Alvin last weekend? Answer, they were at the park. Say with me please, where were Tom and Alvin last weekend? They were at the park. So are you clear, class? Let's start with number 2. Number 2, let's ask and answer a question using you last night. So who can raise a hand please? You? Where were you last night? Awesome. And answer? Yes, I was at the mall. Great. Class, say with me please. Where were you last night? I was at the mall. Awesome. Next. Number 3, let's ask and answer a question about Mr. and Mrs. Brown yesterday. You please. Where were Mr. and Mrs. Brown yesterday? Awesome. And answer? Great. They were at the supermarket. Say with me, please. Where were Mr. and Mrs. Brown yesterday? They were at the supermarket. Good. Move on. Number 4. Let's ask and answer question about Lucy last Thursday. Oh, I see many hands. You please. Say louder. Where was Lucy last Thursday? Awesome. And answer. She was at school. Great. Say with me, please. Where was Lucy last Thursday? She was at school. Great. Move on. Number 5. Let's ask and answer question about Sue last week. Oh, let's pick a boy. You please. Where was Sue last week? Awesome. And look at the picture. We answer. She was at the playground. Awesome. Say with me, please. Where was Sue last week? She was at the playground. Excellent. Move on. Number 6. Let's ask and answer a question about Bill last month. So, who can raise a hand, please? You? Yes. Where was Bill last month? And answer. He was at the amusement park. Awesome. Say with me, please. Where was Bill last month? He was at the amusement park. Awesome. Move on. Number 7. Look at the picture. Let's ask and answer a question about you last night. So, the girl, you please. Where were you last night? Awesome. And answer. I was at the movie theater. Great. Say with me, please. Where were you last night? I was at the movie theater. Awesome. Move on. Number 8. Let's ask and answer a question using you last week. Okay, let's pick a girl. You please. Where were you last week? Awesome. And answer. Look at the picture. I was at the museum. Well done. So with me, please. Where were you last week? I was at the museum. Excellent. And the last question. Let's ask and answer a question using Tom and Alvin last weekend. So, you please. Where were Tom and Alvin last weekend? Great. And answer. Say louder. They were at the swimming pool. Good. Say with me, please. Where were Tom and Alvin last weekend? They were at the swimming pool. Great job! Next, part F. Complete the table with your own ideas. Ask and answer. You have to complete the table with your own ideas about places that Tom, Lucy, Alvin, and Nick were. Then ask and answer. For example, look at the table here. Tom, yesterday, mall. So we ask and answer. Where was Tom yesterday? He was at the mall. Are you clear, class? Now, let's pause the video in 5 minutes to complete the table. Thumbs up. 10. Here is my table. Class, show me the table, please. Yes, awesome. Let's ask and answer question with me. You ask, I answer. Ask about Lucy yesterday. Who can raise a hand, please? You? Where was Lucy yesterday? Awesome. She was at the supermarket. Next, let's ask about Alvin and Nick. You? Where were Alvin and Nick yesterday? Awesome. They were at the park. Tương tự, ở nhà các con hãy thực hành hỏi và trả lời về tôm. Lucy, Alvin and Nick yesterday, last weekend, last Wednesday. Với bạn của mình nhé. Now, let's open the workbook, page 77, to do exercises. Sau đây, cô xin mời các con dở sách bài tập trang 77. Chúng mình cùng nhau làm bài tập nhé. Exercise C. Listen and tick the box. Number 1 is an example for you. Listen.
Unit 8, Lesson 3. C. Listen and tick the box. Number 1.
Tom, where were you this morning? I was at the museum.
So, what can you hear? I was at the museum. So we tick the box, museum. Now let's do number 2, 3, 4, and 5 together. Listen.
Number 2.
Where was Nick yesterday? He was at the supermarket with his friends.
Number 3.
Where were you and Alfie last Sunday, Ben?
We were at the mall.
Number 4.
Where were you last Tuesday, Bill?
I was at the playground with my sister.
Number 5.
Where were Lucy and Mom last night, Dad?
They were at the movie theater.
Now listen again.
Number 2.
Where was Nick yesterday? He was at the supermarket with his friends.
Number 3.
Where were you and Alfie last Sunday, Ben?
We were at the mall.
Number 4.
Where were you last Tuesday, Bill?
I was at the playground with my sister.
Number 5.
Where were Lucy and Mom last night, Dad?
They were at the movie theater.
Listen again and check the answers together.
Number 2.
Where was Nick yesterday? He was at the supermarket with his friends.
What can you hear? He was at the supermarket. So we take the box, supermarket. Well done. Next, number 3.
Number 3.
Where were you and Alfie last Sunday, Ben?
We were at the mall.
We were at the mall, so we take the box, mall. Next, number 4.
Number 4.
Where were you last Tuesday, Bill?
I was at the playground with my sister.
So, can you give me the answer? You please. Playground. What can you hear? I was at the playground with my sister. Well done. And next, number 5.
Number 5.
Where were Lucy and Mom last night, Dad?
They were at the movie theater.
Who can raise a hand, please? You? They were at the movie theater. So we tick the box. Movie theater. Great! Now look carefully and check the answers one more time. Exercise D. Look and write. In this exercise, you have to look at the picture and write the missing words. Number 1 is an example for you. Look at the picture, please. We ask and answer, where was Alfie yesterday? He was at the amusement park. Now, let's pause the video in 5 minutes. After that, we come back later to check the answers. Thumbs up. Who can? Raise a hand, please. You? Where were Mike and Nick last Monday? They were at the museum. Awesome. Number 3. You, please. Where was Dad yesterday? He was at the mall with Mom. Great. Number 4. Raise a hand, please. You? Where were you and your sister last weekend? We were at the movie theater. Well done. And number 5. Say louder, class. Where was Sue last Saturday? She was at the playground. Awesome. Now, let's say the sentences aloud. Number 1. Where was Alvin yesterday? He was at the amusement park. Great. Number 2. Where were Mike and Nick last Monday? They were at the museum. Number 3. Where was Dad yesterday? He was at the mall with Mom. Good job. Number 4. Where were you and your sister last weekend? We were at the movie theater. Awesome. Number 5. Where was Sue last Saturday? She was at the playground. Outstanding! Let's summarize the lesson 3 about vocabularies we learned. Movie theater, playground, museum, mall, supermarket, amusement park. About structures, we learned. Where were you last night? I was at the movie theater. Where was Nick last Saturday? He was at the mall. Where were Alvin and Mike yesterday? They were at the park. About phonics, we learned the sound t at night. Here's the homework. Trên màn hình là một số bài tập về nhà giúp các con ghi nhớ và khắc sâu thêm kiến thức đã học. Các con nhớ làm bài tập đầy đủ nhé. That's the end of the lesson. Goodbye.